Geopolitics with Shikuru were the future.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a wonderful news to announce you about Japan. Japan has its own way of electing the first ever Prime Minister or woman or a female Prime Minister. So I have decided to see her past, her career, her early life, so everything about her. So that's why I have decided to make this video. It's about her life and everything. Her name is Sanae Takaichi. She's 60 years old, and first of all, here the report of BBC, which was talking about her and her winning of Liberal Democratic Party of Japan. Japan is a great country because they are the ones who make most of cars that are used in the world. So it's good to look into politics of this country. But first, let's hear the report of a person who was on the ground in Japan. Hear the video.
Out of Japan, the country is set to have its first ever female Prime Minister. It's after, in the last few minutes, Sanae Takaichi won the ruling Conservative Party leadership election, and these are live pictures from Tokyo where you can see her there on stage. She has been talking. Let's go live to our Tokyo correspondent Shaima Kail. Shaima, history made. What's she been saying?
A history-making moment here for Japan as the country is set to have its first ever female prime minister. A moment I would say that many Japanese people, including Japanese women, thought would never come. Sanae Takaichi has gone for the leadership of the ruling party before, and she hadn't won. This year was her time in the limelight. She has long been an admirer of Britain's first ever Prime Minister, the late Margaret Thatcher, and now she's ever closer to fulfilling that Iron Lady ambition. She's been speaking after the announcement of her victory, saying a new era has come to the LDP. One would argue that a new era has come to Japanese politics, who's never had a woman leader ever before in its history. She also said that we need to change the LDP so people's anxiety turns to hope. Looking there into the difficult times that Japanese households have been struggling with, especially with the cost of living crisis and a stagnant economy and stagnant wages. One of the things that jumped at me is when she said, I'm getting rid of the word work-life balance because I plan to work very hard and I want everyone around me to work very hard. She says that my happiness is overshadowed by the responsibility that I now have. And indeed, it is a big responsibility for the new LDP leader, who is likely, not automatically, but likely to be confirmed by Parliament. She has to unite a fractured party. She has to restore the public's trust into the LDP that has ruled the country for most of its post-war era, but that has really been marred by a series of scandals and two very humiliating defeats that had them lose control in both houses of Parliament. Ms. Takaichi may be the first ever female prime minister in a sea of men that control Japan's politics. But many women voters will tell you that they don't see her as a sign of progress because she is a staunch conservative. For example, she's long opposed the legislation for women to keep their maiden name after marriage. She says this is against tradition. She is also against same-sex marriage and hasn't changed her stance on that. She softened her tone a little bit when it came to women's issues during this campaign, saying that she will, as prime minister, work more for childcare costs to alleviate that for women to be able to work and take care of their children. The LDP veteran is a protege of the late Prime Minister Shinzō Abe. She's hawkish when it comes to security. She wants to revise the country's pacifist constitution. So anticipate some friction on that. She's also a regular visitor of the controversial Yasukuni shrine, where the Japan's war dead are buried, but also convicted war criminals. So she is a controversial figure, But right now, Japan is set to have its first ever female prime minister, and that in itself is a historical moment.
So here her life, the biography of Sanae Takaichi, the person who's soon becoming the Prime Minister of Japan. She has a very good career. She has been in politics for so many years. She's a person who has a good CV. She lived in the United States. She was born in Japan, but also she went to the United States, and even she was a journalist. Her father was working for the company, a company for automobile. It means she worked for a company that was affiliated to Toyota, and her mother was a police officer. So here's her early life. She was born on March 7, 1961. Her birthplace, she was born and raised in Yamato Koriyama, Nara Prefecture, Japan. Family background, her upbringing was described as deeply conservative. Her father worked for an automobile company and her mother was a police officer. Education and early career. High school. She graduated from the university, from UNEDI Senior High School, not university, please, sorry. University. Takaichi attended Kobe University, graduating with a degree in business management. Further studies. She also studied at the Matsushita Institute of Government and Management, an institution known for cultivating future political leaders. Personal interests in youth. Takaichi had diverse interests in her youth, including playing the piano and drums in the heavy metal band. While at the university, she was also enjoyed riding motorcycles. American experience. In a notable early career move, she traveled to the United States to work as a congressional fellow for Democratic U.S. Representative Pat Shkurueda from 1987 to 1989, gaining experience in American politics, media career. Upon returning to Japan, she worked as an author and a TV broadcaster anchor for TV Asahi before fully transitioning into politics. Political career and party affiliation. First election, not education, sorry. Takaichi was first elected to the House of Representatives in the 1993 general elections, running as an independent candidate. Party changes. She initially switched parties and joined the New Frontier Party. She officially joined the Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) in 1996, which is Japan's long-governing pro-democratic conservative political party. Within the LDP, she was associated with the Mori faction family. The Shewi Seisaku Kenyayaki rise in government and party roles. She is a 10-term lawmaker and has served in numerous high-profile positions, including Minister of State of Okinawa and Northern Territories Affairs, Science and Technology, Policy Innovation, Gender Equality, Social Affairs and Food Safety under the first Shinzō Abe cabinet 2006-2007, Minister of Internal Affairs, Communications, holding the post multiple times, including 2014, 2017, and 2019-2020. Minister of State for Economic Revitalization, Minister in charge of Economic Security 2022-2024. She has also chaired the LDP Policy Research Council. Protégé of Shinzō Abe, she is widely considered a protégé and admirer of former Prime Minister Shinzō Abe and champions his conservative vision in Japan. LDP leadership and political stance. LDP presidency, Takaichi ran for the presidency of the Liberal Democratic Party 3 times, in 2021, in 2024, and in 2025, successfully winning in October 2025, becoming the first woman to hold the position. This victory positions her as likely first female Prime Minister of Japan. Political ideology. She is known for her hardline conservative and nationalist ultra-nationalist views. She admires former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Conservative stance on social issues. She holds stance on social conservative views, including opposition to same-sex marriage, opposition to allowing married couples to use separate surnames after marriage, arguing it undermines traditional family values. Support for the imperial family's male-only succession and opposition to allowing members of the maternal line to ascend the throne. Foreign policy and security. She is considered a security hawk and a China hawk, supporting a stronger military and emphasizing a Japan-first foreign policy. She is a member of the ultranationalist lobbying group Kippon Kayagi. Wartime history. Takaichi is known for regularly visiting the controversial Yasukuni shrine, a site viewed by neighboring countries as a symbol of Japan's past militarism. She has been described as a wartime history revisionist. Fiscal policy. Despite a conservative label, she favors an aggressive fiscal stance, advocating for pro-public spending and cheap borrowing for economic growth. Marriage status. Sanae Takaichi was married to Taku Yamamoto. Details. She married Taku Yamamoto in 2024, not in 2020, in 2004. They divorced in 2017, but remarried in 2021. Children, the available context notes that she had 3 children. So that is her history, and thank you for listening. Thank you for this wonderful time. So that was the early life of Sanae Takaichi, the person who is going to lead Japan in the coming days. That was her brief history, and she's making a history right now because she's set to become the first woman of Japan to be Prime Minister. She's 60 years old, as we said. She has 3 children, and she even lived in the United States. She studied a lot. She was a lawmaker. She have been a secretary, it means a minister. So she has held so many roles in the government of Japan. So she has a good CV for becoming a Prime Minister of Japan. So that is what is happening in Japan, everyone. Thank you for listening to Geopolitics. We love you, and we thank you for sharing and also joining Geopolitics. And thank you for your comments, but also for if you have something to suggest, a suggestion is good for us. Thank you. Have a wonderful time, everybody. I'm happy sharing this with you.